It's being live streamed. It's being recorded. This is out of control,
For
man.
live
thing.
stream too.
I was going to put the link
have
to the
spoken
YouTube on
in
Twitter,
Celtic.
unless somebody wants me to not do that.
For the live stream and where? Who? What?
Do what?
Do you want me to tweet the YouTube link?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
I'll
public
tweet-
embarrassment.
I'll tweet your
as the
names
next
with
person.
it.
How did I get in shadow all of a sudden? Hang on.
I like
Yeah,
public embarrassment as much as the next person.
Who is
I
I
that?
mean, that's why we're here.
Yeah, but it's
Who is
always
that?
relative to who you're sitting next to.
You're always
So.
8 feet away from public embarrassment.
But just 8 feet away.
Yeah. All right. People may show up
Surprise.
to this.
Surprise.
very soon. 4 people
You're
are
funny.
watching.
Already. Hi, 4
Listener
people.
Joffrey says hi.
We're super
Listener
happy to
Secret
see you.
Agent says sound and video working well.
Oh, good.
We
Sound
love our secret agent coming
Yeah.
in,
Yes, we
giving
do.
us.
Secret.
So, if you are
occasion.
listening or watching this is a test. This is a test of a new game show. What does it mean when we're testing something? It means it's not as good as when we are not testing it.
Killed it.
There may be more stopping and starting for technical things and rules adjustments. Those kinds of things. I'm just sending out the link to everything that I said I would send out the link to.
Everything.
Is there more than the form that you sent?
You all need access to the Mind Meld form, which you
I
should
think That
have.
was like a screenshot. Hang on. All right, I gotta
Nope.
find that now.
Grab that.
No, I'm too far.
You may or may not want something digital to
Yeah.
have as a scratch paper.
mean,
I will tell you that the main
Or
mechanic,
physical.
yeah,
That's
main
what I use a
mechanic
fountain pen for.
of this game is listing things. So you
Oh,
will
no.
submit your things
All right.
via a Google form that my intrepid scorekeeper will be using, and
That's me.
that's Kathy. So yeah,
Hey, Campbell is
Um,
a scorekeeper. Oh my God! How
I know,
lucky can
Shelly.
people
I'm
be?
cheating on you. I'm sorry.
Mm.
No,
She's-
it's fine. I think that you were interning with me. You were doing your apprenticeship, and now you're
Yes.
Tony's full-fledged
Drunk with power.
scorekeeper.
Well, we'll see if he still
Aha,
lets
there we go.
me. Well, first off, let's see if the game works.
Yeah, there's a
laying
lot of
that out
questions. I
there.
do have kind of like a mini survey for you all.
Your scorekeeper
Good job,
has
Glenn.
your scorekeeper has lots of faith in you. Let's see if it's
I
not a
do.
disaster.
And hey, it looks like we've got at least 13 people watching on
that's great.
YouTube already, so that's exciting. So maybe
Oh,
they'll give us some
Yay.
feedback on how this
Listeners.
works.
We love our
Yes,
listeners.
please, listeners. I'm gonna, jump in here for Tony and say, let us know what you think about the things.
The best way to do that is probably via the Incomparable Slack channel, which probably you are in if you're watching this, but not necessarily. I don't know. Find your way.
And if you
Uh,
haven't joined, you can join
Embrace
right
the
now.
Incomparable Slack
Ooh,
channel.
comparable come.
It's full of incomparable.
how you doing, nerds? Everyone's recording. Do you want to
Everyone's
play?
recording.
Do you want to play a game?
Oh, the only
Oh,
way
fine,
to win
sure.
is
If
not
you
to play,
insist.
Tony.
Yeah. All right,
Sure.
let's pretend that this is an actual podcast and not just a beta test. I will start with I don't know, like a game show introduction. Welcome to the test episode of Mind Meld, the new game created by me, Tony Sindelar, for a podcast here on the Incomparable Network. I've created a game that is unlike any of our other game shows at the Incomparable Network. Instead of something that is team-based, instead of something that rewards creativity or collaboration or deep knowledge, this is a game about being the same. This is a game about guessing what other people are going to say, but also they're guessing what you're guessing. And so I guess you're guessing what you're guessing, they're guessing. It's like a deadly game of cat and also cat and two more cats because there's 4 players. This is Mind Meld. Joining me is my intrepid scorekeeper here to keep our rabble in line and help me make some semblance of order from chaos. Please welcome Kathy Campbell. Hi, Kathy.
Woo!
Wait. Tony, I'm supposed to make order from the chaos. I thought I was here to bring more chaos.
It's all
I'm very
relative.
confused. Okay, cool.
You're running a spreadsheet. That is,
It's true.
Yep.
It's a thing that I am doing.
Yep. Well, speaking of rabble, I have recruited 4 of my favorite rabble/rabble rousers to test this new game thing that we're going to do. From just up the street from my house, the faraway lands, it is Dan Morin. Welcome, Dan.
Oh, hi. Am I here? Am I on this one?
You're here. Dan has a new baby and is fully awake and alert at all times.
I am possibly sleeping right now.
Yeah.
Micro sleep.
Yeah, micro
He's
naps.
easy to beat.
Macro sleep.
hmm Unlike his child, Dan is easy to fall asleep and rises quick to rise. So, joining us, one of the nerdiest nerds that ever did nerd, it is Moises Chuyan. Hi, Moises. Welcome to Mind Meld.
I coincidentally have brought along an old baby.
Oh, an old baby.
An old
I think we
baby.
just
Oh,
call
dear.
I don't
those
want more of these
people.
old babies.
So, for sale, baby, never used. Um,
5 words. Good.
she's the best in the business. It's Shelly Brisbane. Thank you for joining us, Shelly.
Well done, Tony. I was going to riff on cats, but that was so 2 minutes ago. Hi.
I'm slightly overcaffeinated, and everything is great.
Oh,
Oh,
excellent.
it's
Yeah. And
I love-
last but certainly not least, he's won Jeopardy twice, and he seems determined to destroy all other game shows as a result of it. It's my good friend, Glenn Fleischman. Hi, Glenn.
well. Hello. I'm just curious. Are we supposed to notice errors? You said it was a game of cat, not cat and mouse, and I wonder what happened to the mouse. Do I get a point for that?
You're all
No.
equally, you
Oh,
know,
we're all
cat level.
cats?
No,
in
but
this
I,
game.
I,
Well,
get, I get a
cats.
point because I thought that you would think of that.
Ah, ding.
See?
Is this Mornington Crescent suddenly?
Just to be clear, I think that you are all at 0 points right now, but Kathy is the final arbitrator on all point related nonsense.
Kathy, who was looking particularly fetching this evening.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Whoa! No buttering up the scorekeeper.
I'm not.
Ah.
No. Please.
No
please.
horning in on the unicorn. Come on.
I
So
am here.
let's talk about how Mind Meld works. I'll avoid comparisons to other games that I may have been inspired or worked backward from. But this is a game about making lists, but attempting to make lists that are going to be similar to the lists of others. For each round in Mind Meld, you will be presented with a category. You'll have approximately a minute to try and list 5 items in that category. Your goal is to list items that other people will list. After the minute passes, we will compare lists and you will gain points based on how similar your list is to other people. You get a point for every item that is duplicated on another person's list. So if, for example, I'm not going to use any specific examples because I don't want to give you any ideas, but if you all had, if the category was letters of the alphabet and all of you had the letter X, each of you would get, I guess in this case, there's 4 of you, each of you would get 3 points for the letter X. If you're the only person that put the letter R, you get 0 points. If 2 people put the letter T, which is obviously the best letter, those people would get 1 point each, and so on.
I think what you're saying is uniqueness counts against you.
Against you.
Yes.
That is the
Oh.
that's the tagline.
Writing that down.
Uniqueness
Reverse of
counts
all the other
against
games,
you.
in other
Yep,
words.
basically. I was you will the categories will rotate every round. I have arbitrarily decided that I will choose the category for the first round, and then whoever is in last place will get to choose the category from I'll give you that person the choice of categories for the next round. You do get penalized if you do not fill out your list, so you can't submit an empty list. And I think we will also penalize you for garbage answers as determined by Kathy Campbell. So I think I'm attempting to basically make you can't kind of play defensively where you want to avoid giving other people points by just putting in garbage.
You're taking Kathy from scorekeeper to garbage collector.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
I'm making some notes here.
Yeah.
So all the categories are 7 or C. Is that what you're saying?
Nope, that's
Oh,
a different
they're
game that we
not
have
7
totally.
or not C.
We have extracted
He's trying to
all of the
confuse
value
his
from
fellow
that.
players.
That I've attempted
All
to
the
create
blood
a
from that
new
stone.
game because that one is not replicable anymore. We've done it. It's done. I'm out.
I thought there was a C involved because Kathy's so salty.
Tracking
all
thought
right.
exercises.
So you all should have access to the answer form, right? Which is a Google form. It's got 5 spaces on there. Feel free to do your work in there or in something else and copy and paste it in there. But any kind of questions about the mechanics, I guess this is the first time I've had to explain them to another human. Do they make sense?
So far.
Sure.
No penalties for early or late answer. Early or later answers.
You don't know what the category is yet, so I guess.
I don't mean right this second. I mean
But
all
no, there
answers are
isn't-
equal.
Yeah, there isn't as of right now, at this
As of
moment,
right
based
now.
on my notes for the game, there is no bonus or negatory points for
yes.
first or last entry.
Entries. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not. This is
Ultra?
not like legally distinct. Other games on the Incomparable Game Show Network, which are better than this one.
Listen,
so
Tony, we haven't played the game yet. You can't
We have not-
confirm
we don't
that it's
know.
better.
I'm
Just say
interested
they're
to see
older
how
than this
long.
one.
Yeah, older than this one.
There we go.
Yeah. Lex doesn't like it when he's described as old. It makes him very uncomfortable.
Oh.
All right. So we are gonna let's
Oh, good
kick
old
things
Lex.
off. Let us see how this goes. I'm gonna time this on my phone. I don't know if that's what I should be doing, but that's what I'm gonna do. Your category for your first set of lists here. Again, I need 5 items. They all need to be valid. I feel like this is one that doesn't require Googling to determine validity. And again, you are attempting to create a list that other people that is going to share items with other people. The first category of our first ever game of Mind Meld is words that start with Z, or if you're James Thompson, Z. I am setting a timer, 1 minute, words that start with Z. I guess in editing, they'd add in some funny music here.
Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da,
Kathy,
da,
one of the
da,
things I'm
da.
curious about is a minute enough time or too much time?
You know
for
what?
people
I
to
feel
come up
like
with 5 items. It's going to depend on the categories.
Yes, definitely depend on the categories. It's also going to depend on how well the Google form to Google Sheet works,
Mhm.
because that's a time-based
instantaneous,
thing.
but-
I think, Dan, we're not like, I'm putting base level of like estimations. Yes, it should be instantaneous, and look at that, it was. Oh, we've got some answers coming
someone who
in.
score keeps a different. game
Yes.
show,
No, I
so
know.
it's
No,
very
no.
different. It has a lot
This
of
is brand
response-
new. It's a brand new spreadsheet, because if Dan or if Tony didn't do it correctly, it wouldn't have
Hmm.
presented correctly. So I'm just putting that
Hmm.
out there. You know,
I mean, I've already
I have
said my-
already melded.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
melded as well. I have a point of order question.
Mm.
This is words. There are no restrictions on words. These could
No.
be words that are fictional. These could be proper.
Are proper names
Words.
allowed?
I think I just said words.
They're words.
So,
all right.
I mean, I mean,
a
the
continuation
Improper
on the
nouns.
question from the gentleman from the Commonwealth. As a civil country lawyer, rules lawyer, that is, are plurals scored the same as singulars and vice versa?
I think they would be. I think that will come up less in other things. But basically, to me, what determines whether it's correct or not in terms of your word is, did anybody else say it? So, all right. Our answers are in. Kathy is doing some scorekeeping and tallying. Now, here's the one thing I wasn't too sure about from a technical point of view. You don't have your answers in front of you at this point, do you? No.
I
So
hand
maybe
wrote
you
them
need
and
to-
then I
Kinda
wrote
do. I
them
put
into
them
the
in-
form.
All right.
And then I deleted
I
them from the
remember them.
notes that I kept.
All right.
but, yeah.
Dan, you were the first to submit. Do you want to tell us about what your 5 words that start with Z are?
Yes, if I can remember them, and Kathy will confirm for me.
Yeah, I can also confirm them.
Or Tony
Uh-huh.
will confirm. Someone
Yeah.
will confirm that I
He
didn't
will.
make this up. I believe my words were zoo, zebra, or if you're James Thompson, zebra,
Mhm.
Zardoz,
Ooh.
Zanzibar, and Zephyr.
Okay.
Oh man, good words.
Well, I think you did very good right out of the gate there, Dan. I'm seeing that multiple other people, Moises and Shelley, also did zoo. So you're going to get 2 points for zoo. Zebra, this is exciting for our very first round of Mind Meld. Across the board, everybody
Everybody got
picked
the
zebra as a Z word. 2 people, it was their first word. The other 2, it was their second word. Order of words doesn't matter, but clearly zebra was quick to people's minds.
I would petition for extra points if say you choose a control, if let's say Dan is the first one out and other people got similar words, but also got them in the same order that the first person listed them. I'm only advocating for this because I also selected zoo and zebra
You
first
did
and second.
also select
You
zoo and
did.
zebra.
So
I
I,
think-
I
Kathy
am
was more
advocating for
I
my
think
own
it's together.
self-interest.
We'll think about that in future iterations.
I mean,
I'm
that's,
gonna
that's
say
like,
no.
Make
that's-
the spreadsheet more complicated at all,
Yeah.
will it?
Hey, look,
Galaxy
I've
brain
already
mind
got color coding, and I'm trying to figure out the scores, because even though zoo is 3, you only get 2 points. And then Dan gets 3 points for zebra, so the total is 5.
Yes, I believe
Okay.
that is the 2 other people wrote zoo. So you get 2 points. 3 other people wrote zebra. 0 points for Zardoz, 0 points for Zanzibar, 0 points for Zephyr. Though
Sorry,
Dan,
buddy. Sorry,
There's
on
a-
Zardoz.
You, Glenn.
those are
I-
excellent
I-
words.
When you said the letter Z, every word beginning with Z left my head
Yeah,
at the
I
same
had that
time.
same experience. I was like,
Like-
there is a zebra that hangs over my child's in my child's room.
I was-
And I was, oh, Z is for zebra. We've gone through the alphabet.
I was like, zoophilia? I can't do that. Tony's
Mm.
mom's listening.
All right.
Not anymore.
Glenn
She's
Fleischman,
Don't Google it.
we know that you have zebra on your list. What
We
else do
do.
you got on your list?
I have zither, because I know we're all fans of
Mm.
Harry Lime here.
We are all fans
uh,
of Harry Lime. 0 points for this.
Dang it. Or David Lorber here. I
Mm.
get a point for that. And because I can think of no other Z words, what did I do? Zippy,
Zippy.
zipped, and zipper.
Zipper. Yeah.
I figure
Which
one
are
of those.
really just one word.
It's kind of. I was
But-
like, there must
yeah.
be another Z word.
All
Like,
right.
oh, Zephyr.
I
I was
will
in
tell you-
Glenn also
Zillow.
worked for the Levi Strauss Corporation.
you
That's right.
you get 1 point for zipper.
Oh,
Shelly had zipper. No points for zippy
Wow.
or zip.
I should have done Zillow.
Moises, we know you've got zoo and zebra. What else you got on your list?
I went zombie. I went zealous. I went zesty.
Excellent Z
Mm.
words.
Oh, damn.
I'll tell you, zombie. 1 point for zombie because Shelly also had zombie. Now, Shelly, I haven't looked at the score sheet. I'm just looking at your answers, but it looks very good here in that you have zebra or zebra, which other people have. You have zombie, which Moises had. You had zoo, which other people had, and you had zipper, which Glenn had. Do you want to tell us the one word that nobody else had?
Seriously. Zeppelin.
Zeppelin. Yeah.
Zeppelin. Oh my God.
What kind
There's
of
a Zeppelin. Dan,
incongruence?
don't look behind you. There's a Zeppelin there.
I wanted to
Yeah.
I'll
add.
take my
what's-
87
I'm looking at.
What-
I'm
what-
looking at a Zeppelin in your.
here is how funny this is to me. Is I also occurred to me afterwards. What medium are we using to do this podcast? Everybody.
Zoom.
Zoom.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody
Oh,
got
God.
Did
It was
you know
just-
about
Zeppelin-
we may have to
Zeppelin-
adjust recording times of this.
This is a psychology test. Tony is
Mhm.
testing to see how many things you can remember when you announce a category.
Yeah.
None of you
Bas-
saw the guy walk through in the
Yes,
apes
the gorilla.
while we were
Yes.
doing.
Yeah.
He was wearing a
All
zither.
right.
No, Zeppelin. I thought enough people would go. No,
my
that's too
God.
obvious.
Mm,
But
And
see,
everybody
that's
else
the
just
forgot.
point.
That's the
Mm.
Just
point.
forgot.
That's the
Right, We're
point.
trying to do
That
that.
could be
This
the-
does not
the game
reward
title.
originality. You got to converge.
No, that would be too obvious.
You got to
isn't it?
mind.
I just
meld
want to
those
be
minds.
I just want to be like everybody else.
So let me just check in because this is a test. Kathy, did that work okay in terms of me reading scores and you recording them? Did you want to be reporting them? How did that work technologically for you?
So color coding actually helped. The hardest thing.
It works super great for me as the reader
Yeah.
over here.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I'm fine with you doing the readingness of it. That way because in my head, I would say, oh, zebra, that's 4 points. But no, I got to take one away. And so
Yeah.
And
I have to do
also
math.
in your
And let me just say
head, in your head.
zombie.
All right, Shelly, let's do a score check after round 1 of Mind Meld. How are we doing?
Hi, I'm
me.
Kathy.
Oh, what did I
Shelly
say?
doesn't know. Shelly has 87 points. The rest of you have
Kathy-
none. We're done.
Kathy,
Okay, let's go.
Kathy just got
Wait,
laid off.
you know,
It's
Shelly,
we
wait to see.
Wow.
scorekeepers, shift scorekeepers at the end.
Just because
Holy
Shelly is
smoke.
winning doesn't
That's how
mean she gets my job.
I
Kathy-
don't want your
When-
job, Kathy.
Each
Kathy's in
round,
the
we rotate the
process
That was what-
scorekeeper
of
to the
I think
person who has the
that was
highest
like
points.
quitting.
That was what my brain did. Is Shelly had the most points? Clearly, she
She's
must
now
be
scorekeeper.
keeping score. Yeah, she has
That
all
is
the
a
scores.
special. That is a special kind of hell.
I was gonna say, that's a good game mechanic.
Let me
right
try that
there.
again.
The winner keeps the score.
Well, Kathy, we've completed 1 round of Mind Meld. Tell us about the scores.
They look great. The
Mhm.
spreadsheet is fantastic. Well done on adding the sum for the totals. Would you actually like those totals too?
Yeah, I
Or-
think
okay.
this would be a good place to quantify them.
Okay, cool. So first place goes to Shelly with 7 points.
Wow.
Second place is Moises with 6. Dan has 5, and Glenn has 4 wonderful points.
Wow.
All right. So only a 3-point spread. Feels like it's still anybody's game. Based on my improvised mechanics, Glenn, you have the choice of what the next round is going to be. I'm going to give you 2 categories to choose from, and you will get to choose what our next category will be. You can't think about it too long. I'm just telling you that now. And if you do, I'm choosing for you. Your options are either mythical creatures or tech companies.
Aren't those the same thing? I thought
Nope.
tech companies were unicorns. Aren't the tech companies unicorns? I'll
You've
take
just
mythical
given
creatures.
away a word.
Oh,
Please-
damn it!
When a
I'll
private
take
equity firm
tech companies
likes
then.
someone very
All
nice.
right. The category chosen by Glenn for round 2 of Mind Meld is tech companies. You have 1 minute to come up with the 5 tech companies you think your colleagues will also list.
Now,
Exciting times here.
this is happening. Do we want to maybe have the person pick who is in like the last place of that particular round?
I was just going to do
Because-
last place overall.
Yeah, because my concern is if, like, just throwing this out there, if Glenn just sucks at this game,
Hey.
he ends up
Awesome.
having to pick
For example,
it. Just laying that out
Or-
there.
Listen, yeah. I was going to say, I wasn't giving anything away saying unicorn because Kathy is literally dressed as a unicorn, but Dan also had a Zeppelin behind him, and none of us came up with the word Zeppelin
Yeah.
except for, Moises. So, no, wait, Moises
No,
didn't pick
Shelley.
Shelley,
Shelley
sorry.
did.
I didn't.
Kathy
I didn't
picked
pick it,
Zeppelin.
but I did think of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
So, my apologies. I will not mention any other mythical creatures.
Don't use any words.
And
That's
that
a
has
problem
been a minute.
for Glenn.
Moises and
It's
Shelley,
submitted.
please submit your things.
My pencil's down. My pencil's down.
All right. Now I put tech companies on the list knowing that many of you are professionally tech journalists or tech adjacent people, and perhaps not surprisingly, you have all converged, not completely, but there is heavy overlap.
Yes.
Dan, you were the first to go in, but you were the first last time. Let's do things a little differently this time. Glenn, you were second. Glenn, tell us about your lists of 5 tech companies that you think everybody else picked also.
Well, my strategy was to pick 5 tech companies, and I did. I thought I'd pick the ones that I was hoping everybody else thought were the biggest and most prominent. So, was that Facebook, Amazon? I forgot all my answers. Twitter.
I can read them back to you.
Thank you. Facebook.
We have a possible flaw in the game is that it requires that our participants be sentient.
Have short-term memory.
Yeah, short-term
Yes.
memory. Glenn, you gave us Google, Facebook, Amazon, Adobe, and Twitter, which we can agree are all technology
Yeah.
companies.
I was thinking Adobe might be in people's minds today because there was acquisition of Figma for a bunch of money. So I thought maybe people would think about Adobe because they weren't usually.
Oh, it's weird. It's almost like there's some other company that could
Well,
be on.
I can tell you that the first 3 of your list are ones that people picked. Google, across the board, clearly swept the entire category as what all of you thought of as a tech company. So 3 points for Google.
It's what we use to submit our answers.
Yep, it is on the thing that
Oh, that's
On the
right.
form.
you're all
First
easily
Zoom,
manipulated.
Now Google.
I typed
sense
Google
a
5
trend.
times.
Did not. Oh, I didn't pick Zoom, did I? Is that the
Nope.
joke, Jan?
Nope.
That's the-
You also chose Facebook, which Dan and Shelley, you said Meta. We're going to count that as
I
Facebook also.
appreciate that. I was going to have
Okay.
to have
I
a.
forgot
you
their
know-
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, I think that seems Kathy. If Kathy says Kathy always says
Yeah, Kathy says it's okay. It's
if Kathy
fine.
overrules me, then we go by what Kathy
Right.
says. But
Yeah, look, I
I'm following
color coded it.
Yeah, I'm following
Yeah.
what Kathy did in the color coding. And Amazon, chosen by Dan and Shelley. It looks like, unless I'm reading this incorrectly, no one else picked Adobe or Twitter. So strong. I think this is going to be a pretty strong round for everybody there. Moises, why don't you go next? Do you need your list read to you, or you got your list?
I have it right here.
Go for it. What do you got?
I went with Apple, Microsoft.
Apple, is that a technology
Oh,
company?
never
I haven't heard
of
of
that.
them.
I
Is it
doubt
possible that
Uh,
almost everyone here
Is it
podcasts about
possible?
Apple every day?
It's a
No.
lifestyle company.
Yep.
Never-
It's
I don't
technology.
think very much of them.
Microsoft, Google, Zoom, and Slack.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, Apple didn't sweep, but got 3 out of 4 of you. So Apple is worth 2 points. Microsoft also worth 2 points, and Google, as we mentioned, is worth the maximum of 3 points. So good, strong round there for Moises. No points for Zoom or Slack, but you got 3 out of 5 is pretty good. Shelly, you want to go next?
Have Apple, Meta /Facebook,
Mhm.
Amazon, Microsoft, Google.
And
Oh,
Shelly, you have
wow.
once again, you got it across the board. Everything you listed on your list is something that somebody else listed. 2 points for Apple, 3 points for Google, 2 points for Amazon, 2 points for Microsoft, and 2 points for Facebook.
Woo.
I'm not looking at the spreadsheet that tabulates your score, but I suspect you're doing pretty well based on that.
We should call that a bingo because she got all 5.
Yeah.
I think because I had the exact same list that Shelly had.
And as we go back around to Dan, you have the same list as Shelly, but in a
Bingo.
different order. Would
There
you
you go.
like to read your order just so we have something to focus on? Because you did real good, and it feels sad to just be like, you're the last in the list. There's nothing to say about you
I
except to count up your
almost went
points.
with there is a tech company acronym for exactly
Bang.
5 movies.
Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did decide not to go with Netflix.
Yeah, I almost said
Yeah.
Netflix, and I was like, maybe
Yeah.
not.
Mhm.
For
So-
Microsoft included in that one.
Shelly, Kathy, do you need Dan's scores, or it's?
Oh
I guess
no,
it will
I
be
got
the same as Shelly's.
yeah.
So
Well, is it okay? Yeah.
is it?
I think
should
by
be, right?
Okay.
necessity it has to
Well-
be.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, if we got the
Right.
same.
We
Yeah.
have the same ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An order
I'm
doesn't
trying
matter.
to figure out why I did not add that.
Okay,
I
it's
could.
2 for Facebook.
Yep.
It's 2 for Apple, so he's at 4.
Or
It's 2 for Amazon. It's at 6.
6.
2 for Microsoft. So he's at
8.
8. And
Google.
3 for Google. Brings him to 11.
9. Oh, okay. So somehow I got 9 and 10 as answers, not.
I don't know. And we can look into later. There may be ways to automate more of this.
That's what would it be possible, just hypothetically switching, like to do the
Word by
number? No, I mean, yes, that would help, but also instead of like subtracting 1,
Mhm.
like having it be, so Apple would be 3 points instead of 2. So I can count.
It
Here are
basically
3 purples.
we could probably I mean,
And then I can I could go.
well, let's see how it works out this
Yeah,
way.
I don't know. I don't know.
The
But
the one downside to that is that it would really penalize you for when you miss one, basically.
yeah, that's true.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
You'd be
That's a
down
good
an
point.
extra
Yeah.
point.
Okay. So yeah, no, never mind. However, I will say, could you let me do the color coding?
Yes. Okay. Sorry. I
That
thought I
would
was
be-
being helpful.
No, I know,
and
I know,
it's not.
but yeah, no, it was
All right.
not helpful. But
You're in
that's
charge
okay.
of that.
I think you can make
the
a.
scorekeeper keep the score.
I think you could do a formula that might count the different colors and put it out as like a field, and
Probably.
it would show you enumeration.
Let's
of it.
all
Yeah.
pivot this into
Wow.
a
All right.
How I
collaborative.
love
This is
my
now a
sheet of
spreadsheet
many colors.
podcast.
So you,
I love
I will
my
tell you,
sheet of many colors.
you basically have kind of mirrored scores here, where Dan, you got 11 points that round. Shelly 11 points. Moises 7 points. Glenn 7 points.
Ooh.
And I think that the total scores have all kind of slid up accordingly, but I think the rankings have not really
Yeah,
changed.
That's right.
No.
Jelly 18 points, Dan close behind at 16, Moises 13, Glenn at 11. So I guess here's the question of do we let Glenn choose the
Hell
category
yeah.
again, or do we give Moises a chance? What do you think,
Well,
Kathy?
First off, am I needed in this one, or are you going to give the scores every
Oh,
time?
haha.
I'm just throwing that out there. Asking
I'm-
nicely.
What
I hear the
I
Let
have one job.
Passive aggressive this up before
Let me find the
Lord.
salt. Where's the salt icon? I need to go-
Yeah, I love that the anticipation was that the scorekeeper would roast the contestants, and the scorekeeper's roasting the host.
We're figuring
time.
out where
That's what
the
makes it fun.
yeah what
Where the
people like.
line of
Yeah.
of roles are.
Oh, the scotch is working now.
Okay, so I think probably Glenn again
All right.
because of like if there's a tie for the scores for that round,
Yeah.
then the person lowest points
Yep.
gets to
All
I
right.
promise to not reveal an answer this time too.
All right.
we
Now, so I
return
was
to
considering. Glenn last time had the choice of mythical creatures or tech companies. I was thinking if mythical creatures still stays in the mix, So I could give Glenn the choice of mythical creatures and something else, or I could just say mythical creatures is like goes to the back of the line and gives Glenn 2 brand new choices. Any thoughts?
I'm thinking having 2 new choices because otherwise people would be like, "Oh, I've had a whole round to think
about.
Right, to think about that.
Yeah.
And
that's
everybody, yet strangely, everyone's list is just unicorn again.
I
Unicorn.
mean, yeah, it's true.
And then
Or
also
unicorn.
in this particular case, the same person is picking again.
Yes. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
boring. All right. So, Glenn, you are unfortunately still in last place, but with last place comes the honor of choosing the next round. Your choice: colleges or constellations.
Oh, wow.
Don't overthink it.
Colleges.
Colleges it is. Players, you have 1 minute. I want you to list 5 colleges. This is the place where I wish we had the ability to pipe in some music into Zoom and just be.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop,
Loop
boop,
back
boop,
to
boop,
magic.
boop, boop, boop,
Dun,
boop,
dun, dun.
do, 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 do.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da-ba-ba. Yes, secret agent. I always win. Unicorn power.
Secret Asian man, secret. This is a hard one.
Yeah, well,
And yet you picked it, Glenn.
Yeah, I thought the other one would be even more disparate, but then as I attempt, actually, I'm going to change the answer.
wait for me.
I did spend a lot of time on coming up with the rounds, and I will be interested to know which ones were better and which ones were not
Yeah,
so
I
better.
like the list. Good job.
I then took that list and put it into random.org because
Random
there were
dot-
there were themes in the list until it was randomized.
We
So-
bring
makes
the
sense.
random to you.
All right. You all got in before a minute went up, which is excellent. That's very good mind melding, people. Shelly, I think it is your time to go first. So what are your 5 essential colleges that everybody else is thinking of?
I went fancy colleges. What I love about this round is there's no benefit in being a homer. So I would never have chosen the University of Texas, for example. So I chose Harvard, Yale.
Harvard. I'm not familiar with them.
Where
Where are they?
little tiny
Harvard?
college in the Northeast somewhere.
Oh, are they in
Okay.
Boston?
I've heard
Dan,
that.
are they in Boston?
Maybe. Where's Boston?
Well, maybe
Cam,
maybe if they work hard, they can get it.
Cam.
Well,
Canterbury.
maybe they'll get to Boston next year. Good luck,
Yeah.
Harvard. Sorry, I interrupted you, Shelley. Harvard, and your next.
Yale,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Duke.
They make locks, don't they?
Apparently. MIT, because they couldn't come up with a name, they just have initials.
Mhm.
And
Does stand for something.
And then Georgetown, because I ran out of ideas. So yeah.
Okay. Moises, how you doing?
Pretty good. I have Harvard, NYU, Stanford, Yale, and Miskatonic University.
Oh, fictional entrance to the list. I'm also realizing we did Shelley's list, and I didn't talk about how Shelley's list was. No,
She did
hopping back
so
to Shelley.
poorly.
Yeah.
So poorly.
Shelley, it seems like all of you are of similar mind around some schools. Everybody submitted Harvard, so Harvard is worth 3 points.
It's very aspirational for all of us,
Everybody
apparently.
submitted Yale. Yale is worth 3 points. Nobody submitted Duke, MIT, or Georgetown.
Fine.
All right.
I almost picked Duke.
Over to Moises. As mentioned, Harvard and Yale, 3 points each. One other person, Dan, put Stanford. So Stanford is worth 1 point. Sorry,
I
Moises.
almost put UCSD,
Mm.
and I thought,
And then you did the
None
math
of them
who
are
was
here.
Yeah.
None of them are here.
But we could have been thinking, aren't they? They're always here somewhere. No points for NYU or Miskatonic, but I'm impressed with Miskatonic, which is, I believe, I haven't checked the status of Princeton lately, but I believe is the only fictional institution represented here on the list.
Cute.
So back around, Dan, how's your list looking?
I had Harvard, Stanford, and Yale. So
Mhm.
those I know have all been picked. I threw in UCLA, which somebody in the YouTube chat also picked. So I feel like half a point.
Yeah, good. No.
Ghost
yeah,
points.
you can
You can
feel
have a
as-
ghost
however
point.
you
Yeah,
want about
ghost
your
point.
score, but doesn't mean
And then I threw Cornell on the list because I also ran out of ideas.
Quick, what's the school I went to?
so did Cornell.
Don't tell my Don't tell my wife I didn't pick Cornell.
All right. So as previously mentioned, Harvard is worth 3 points. Stanford 1. Yale is also worth 3 points. So I believe that gets you to 7 points, Dan. I don't know. Kathy's in charge of math. And last but certainly not least, Glenn, tell us about your list of things that are not Harvard and Yale.
That I've written down this time. Yeah, so I had Yale, Harvard. And then Dartmouth. I don't know. I thought people would be thinking Ivies. I don't know. Princeton and Notre Dame. Just because I couldn't think of another that might be like everyone's like, what's the fifth college? They'd say Notre Dame. I don't know.
The fifth college.
Now
Yes.
Tony
That
Blair-
is-
Fifth
I think,
college, yep.
I
That's
think
the wild
that's,
card.
they have that
Hunchback of
on their
colleges.
webpage. Notre Dame, the fifth college.
Now
That's
Tony,
what
Tagline.
Wild
now
card
Tony
was
will
actually
name all the
my
colleges we
joke
didn't pick just to flesh out the
There's,
list.
right.
it's
I
a
was-
very long list.
Ready
I
for
was
the
thinking-
Twitter thread.
Yeah.
Stanford is the fifth
You
college. I should have
forgot
said.
to mention
Oh.
the following
I can't
items.
believe.
I
didn't
can't
talk
believe you
about
didn't mention the school I went
Like
to.
it. You missed. So go
You
back
missed,
and correct
right,
it.
There you go.
I
Yeah.
will point out that none of you mentioned the school I went to, and that's all I'll say about that.
Oh.
Kathy,
Yeah, and
How
I
did
went
all
to
this
FSU, and
affect-
frankly, I should
Finally, I
have
had
said
known where Kathy went to. That's the college I would have
Yeah.
mentioned.
Kathy, how did the scores look for this round?
Well, we've got two sets of twins again,
Mhm.
with lower scores this time, which is fine. But Dan and Moises are twins with 7, and Glenn and Shelley are twins with 6.
Twinsies.
In thinking about how scoring would work for this game, it did occur to me that there may be a lot of twinning of points. I don't know if that's a problem or not. But yeah,
We'll see.
because of the
It probably
symmetry of
flips and
like,
flops
you
all
know,
around.
in order
Yeah.
for you to get a point, somebody else has to get a point, right?
Yes. Yes.
Kathy, what about the overall scores? How are those looking?
Overall, the numbers have gone up, but
That's
The-
what I like to
they
hear.
are the same.
If the numbers had gone
Same,
down, I would have
but
some
more.
serious questions.
You used to have
Listen,
10 points. Now you have 4.
Mm.
math is not my like.
Words.
Is it
What-
words?
words.
Words are what you do? Is that
Words
what you're
are-
saying?
I think
I
the word you're
word
looking
real
These are my
good.
business, as
for
I
is
always say.
you're 14. They are not your 14.
Yes.
Cute.
Exactly. Exactly. No, but we've got Shelley's at 24, Dan is 23, Moises is 20, and Glenn is 17.
All right.
You look a day over 17.
Mm.
Yeah, almost an adult.
Young
So
Glenn.
Shelley,
Yay.
Dan is nipping at your heels, and you know, Moises and Glenn are not that far behind. I think you have all been doing very well. I was worried that I was gonna like give out several rounds and like there would be no collision, there would be no convergence, and it would be like, well, this game doesn't work. So good job at all scoring lots of points each round. I thought they were going to be lower scoring rounds. So Glenn, I believe you still have the honor of choosing rounds. A honor that you have not technically converted into points yet, but this could be your moment. Surge ahead.
To be
Uh,
fair, Tony, he has gotten points.
Yes.
Can I
There's
just
not as
pick-
many?
Can I pick a category and make one up
No.
like famous typefaces?
No. I mean, that's
Damn
that
you, Glenn.
actually, Glenn. Again, I think you'd be at a disadvantage there because you
I
want to
think
pick
so. I'm
typefaces
like,
other people are going to pick.
I don't know what
It's not about your ability to list
You're too
typefaces.
That's
smart.
right.
Yeah. Glenn, going
Disproven repeatedly. Thank you. But
going off of my list,
Yes.
you have a choice for the next category:
okay,
Pixar characters or state capitals.
state capitals.
State capitals it is. You have a minute. 5 state capitals
Oh,
that
Jesus.
your colleagues will pick.
Oh man,
These are. Oh boy, what have you done?
Yep.
I don't remember enough Pixar characters. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
These are great. It's
Uh,
great. I'm excited.
Wow.
No pressure.
Just think of everybody's. Never mind. I won't say anything. Sorry.
Yeah, some of the sets of things are much smaller than others, which is interesting in terms of what
Yeah.
choices you make. So again, what's important is that you pick the ones that other people pick. And again, they're only correct if you're
Multiple people pick them,
yeah.
or
We
at
love
least
our-
one other person.
We love our panelists.
Yeah.
Do we all know the correct state
I
capital?
don't know. The whole,
I-
That
I
was
think
the next thing.
that's
I
the
was
other
gonna ask
challenging
about.
But just like
Uh,
Family Feud, the correct answer doesn't have, or the answer that gives you points does not have to be the correct answer.
Yes.
Oh, you're saying we can write cities that are not capital cities and you still
If-
get points?
Sure, if
If
other
they
people
match.
write them.
Oh Jesus, that's a whole level.
Crazy.
But also, Dan, a minute has passed. So
Metropolis, Gotham City.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Fine.
All right.
I don't like it, but I'll do it.
Shelly, we need your data.
Fine, it's coming. I'm typing.
Okay.
Wow,
I don't
These
even know
scores
what
are
I put in there,
impressive.
so
This
someone would have to
is
remind me of my answer.
I am.
what is
like,
going on?
What
You made the game.
heck?
You made
No,
the game.
I'm concerned that all of you are haunted. Are any of you haunted? If you're haunted,
You-
have to tell me.
In a good way or a bad way?
Wait,
You know,
this
I-
This
Is
is
this
one
secret?
one that fascinates
All right,
me
there you go.
because of the category, because I have a feeling that the whole wait a minute, is that a state capital, and what other state capitals would the other three people choose plays into it much more
Exactly.
specifically.
100%.
This is very weird. I feel
I
like
am shocked.
I feel like I
y'all.
am being subjected to some kind of
We've
prank.
all been quietly
Do
doing
we all get
things
the
on the
same,
side.
same things?
Do
They're
you-
very, very similar, despite the fact that, to my knowledge, there are 50 state capitals. This is an amazing number of collisions.
I can tell you my
Well, I mean,
thought
I
process
have
for
logic
exactly
yeah,
too.
what I picked.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about your
Amazing.
thought process in a
Yeah.
second. Moises, why don't you start us off? What do you got on your list?
All right. I started with, I'll go through my thought process.
Yeah, do it.
City
Let's
I
hear
live
it.
in, Austin, which rhymes with Boston.
Mm.
Then I went the state capital where I went to college, which I mentioned a moment ago, Florida State, in Tallahassee, Florida.
Tallahassee.
Then I went Albany, New York, because I couldn't properly trust myself as to whether I knew the capital of Massachusetts.
Me neither.
So I chose a nearby state.
Yep.
Ow.
And then I went all the way out to the West Coast to Sacramento. And then I went, well, what cities have I visited recently? Denver.
Mhm.
That's great.
Wow. I imagine in my head I had the little map with the red line with Moises traveling around America. It was great. So Moises, let me tell you here why this list is fascinating to me. Two other people put Austin, Glenn, and Shelley.
Surprise.
So 2 points for that. I apologize. 0 points for Tallahassee. That's
No
not
one
enough.
should
That's
ever
not me.
apologize for Tallahassee.
Now, I would have
And
picked it. I couldn't
amazing.
remember it.
I remembered it. I couldn't spell it quickly.
Oh,
An amazing 3 points for
No.
Albany, right?
Oh
3 points
yes.
for Albany?
Sorry, I was on the wrong
Yeah.
row.
3
and I
points for
also
Albany because everybody else put Albany, which is very weird and
Ugh.
confusing to me.
Oh,
And
but it gets
also,
better.
3 points for Sacramento because everybody also put Sacramento.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I
and
ask
can
you-
tell you why. I can tell you why,
I
Tony.
can tell you why.
I
And-
can
too.
explain it.
0 points for Denver. All right, Dan, explain what's going on here.
So my process, which I think was probably either subconscious or conscious for everybody, was think of the biggest cities in the country, which are
Yeah.
not the capitals of the states they're in.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then think, well, everybody else is going to think of those cities, so I'm just going to pick the capitals of those states.
Yeah.
So New York
Apparently
City and
it
LA
works.
are not the capitals,
Yep.
but I also put Albany and Sacramento. And
The
then I did
best-
what I suspect other people did, which was start picking states that people hear in the show.
Okay.
So I
It
picked
works.
Boston.
It's just I guess this is a place where I would be a lousy panelist on the show because I would have never listed Albany or Sacramento. And literally all of you did.
Yeah,
So-
and
my-
I thought
Tony
of,
would have
for
been
some
out
reason
here
Dan did.
going,
My
I'm going to
favorite-
go Portland, Maine. I'm going to go Lansing, Michigan.
yeah.
Portland, Maine, not the capital, though. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
My
I
my
know.
absolute favorite part though is the fact that 3 of you put Sacramento in the fourth.
In the exact
place.
same spot.
Like-
there.
Funny.
Yeah.
Nice.
My
So funny.
Meld.
So let me just make sure I've got the scoring right here. Moises, you get 2 points for Austin, 3 points for Albany, and 3 points for Sacramento. So that would be some number combined.
8.
Yep. Classic. Let's do Dan next. Dan, you just explained your list, so we know that you are getting 3 points for Albany and 3 points for Sacramento because everybody puts those. You want to tell us what else is on your list?
I also added Boston, which is
Boston?
the capital of Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, is that a state that you're familiar with?
Massachusetts.
It's
I honestly-
Commonwealth. not a
Like
state.
Moises, I could not remember if Boston was. I was like,
I
is it
didn't
like
trust myself.
Is it like Pittsfield or something? I mean, every state
It's
is
not
some weird
Pittsfield.
little capital.
You
And I was like,
know what? I find that frankly insulting. Glenn,
Yeah,
because
that's-
I also
yeah.
had
Yeah,
Olympia
I mean,
on
I
my
was
list.
literally in Boston a month ago, and
I was like, but there's almost no state that has a big city. So I was like, it can't be Boston. I must be just totally
I,
wrong.
I think I rounded that up with Olympia and Salem just as a pure
Yes.
attempt to please our Pacific Northwest friends.
The
well,
blue wall.
It
Thanks
worked.
you.
the incomparables Ben Franklin and John Adams, Glenn and myself,
Yes.
got the Boston one wrong.
I
So-
think I've literally visited the state capitol in Boston. I mean, I'm
Mm.
sure I have. So
So
Giant.
Dan,
It's a
Dan,
gold
you get
dome on a hill.
Yep.
right. Damn it.
Dan, you get 1 point for Boston because Shelley also listed Boston,
Super.
and you get 1 point for Salem because Glenn listed Salem. So I'm assuming you
Not
meant
Olympia.
Salem, Oregon, and not Salem, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Not
So-
the capital.
I put Salem, OR.
Calm down.
I
kid.
know.
Massachusetts
Yeah.
has 2 capitals.
Glenn, I almost want to give Glenn an extra point for listing the state.
Because I was like, what if they? Not like you're going to be that picky.
I mean,
but was
I
like,
can't stop you from.
but-
I can't stop you from.
I
giving
know,
Glenn
but
a
see,
bonus
then
point.
it would be a pity point because he's so far behind that
Well-
I don't want to do that.
Oh my god.
I did
All
great
right.
this round though.
So, Shelley, we know that you put Sacramento because everybody put Sacramento, and we know you put Albany because everybody put Albany, and we mentioned that you put Austin, and we mentioned that you put Boston. What is your one other city that no one else listed?
I don't want to talk about it. I
All
don't wanna
right.
talk- No,
Moving on.
I put Portland and I didn't
Mhm.
specify a state, and I was
Yeah.
wrong because I was thinking Portland, Oregon. I would have
Yeah.
gotten a point in either
I
case.
think
and I
that
was
I
incorrect.
think that was a great guess.
right.
I think that was a
That was a
solid
very
guess.
good guess.
Yeah.
Nobody
It's way
outside of
better guess
Oregon.
Better than
Sacramento.
Tallahassee.
I'm actually totally impressed, Dan, that you know that Salem is the capital of Oregon because nobody outside of Oregon knows that Salem is the capital of Oregon.
You know what?
Unless they've
Somebody
studied it.
should have put none of us put Springfield, despite the fact that I think there's one in like every single state, and
Yeah.
it is
Yeah,
the
like
capital
five
of
Oh,
one
right,
state.
Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Illinois, yeah.
Illinois.
That would
Nice.
have been smart.
Yeah, because
Glenn,
Kathy
have-
wasn't playing, and I didn't assume Washington resident Glenn would go Oregon. That's why I didn't say Salem.
Oh, I was trying to.
And
okay.
I thought of saying Olympia, and then I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to say that. I thought of Denver. I thought of Tallahassee, but the only reason I didn't do Tallahassee was because I couldn't spell it.
I think we can agree that everyone had reasonable guesses,
Mm.
except for Glenn's fifth guess. Glenn's first guess was Albany, which is a great. Austin, which is pretty good.
Or
Salem,
Utica
good.
sort of
Sacramento,
place.
lots of points. And then Glenn, your last choice. Do you want to tell us about it and somehow
Well-
explain why that's there and what's wrong with you?
I ran out of steam, and I was running out of time. So
There
I
are
picked-
only 7 states in the United States, so I can see how you get slowed down trying to
So
figure
I
out
was
the
suddenly-
fifth one.
because this game should be called "You Forgot Everything You Know" because Tony asked
Yep.
you a question. Give me 1 minute.
That's
So
like
I-
all game shows that I
It's
play,
true.
which is why I volunteered to be the scorekeeper, so I don't have to think up lists.
This is
because-
more intensely so though, because the minute Tony says the category is blah, you have a minute,
You
everything
literally
falls
got
into
to
my
pick
head.
the category.
Right, and I did. So I panicked and picked Boise.
Uh,
I should have picked Olympia, but I'm like, nobody's
I
going to know
wanted,
Olympia.
I wanted to go Boise or Bozeman.
mm.
Oh, yeah,
but,
Bozeman.
I,
Man.
but I
Bozeman.
Also
I
not
didn't
the
think there was
capital.
enough in either one.
You
I
know
wish
what?
I
I'm
remember
just-
Helena,
but
but I can.
but name another city in Montana.
Helena.
Helena,
Yeah.
Okay.
uh,
All right, college
50%
boy,
chance.
you're real smart. You're real smart.
Big
I'll give you
Sky.
that.
I had a puzzle as a kid that had all the states and the capitals, so like that's ingrained.
I
in
did
my
too,
memory.
but I don't remember
Just-
any.
Also
just-
Missoula
just-
because I have a friend who lives there. But that's it.
Missoula.
This is the only game where we're allowed to bully each other for being too smart.
Mhm.
I know, it's great.
That's what makes
I-
it awesome.
I got to just say, I thought that was more of a Utica sort of answer. There we go. Got it out of my system.
Oh.
Wow.
Got it out of my system. How to do it.
Wow.
Kathy, what did the scores for this round look like? I mean, everyone did pretty good, which means there's probably not a lot of rage.
Yeah. So we have a set of twins again,
Mhm.
which is understandable, but that's great because Glenn is actually not the last one in this round. Him and Shelley both have 9 points. And Moises and Dan got 8.
Ooh.
And how are our overall scores looking?
Overall, Shelley has a solid first place with 33 points. Dan has 31. Moises has 28 and Glenn has 26.
All right.
Preserving my position so I can make all the picks,
Glenn picks
obviously.
all the categories.
I think
Yeah.
I
No,
think you.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's Moises' turn to pick
yeah,
something. Yeah.
because this
So-
round he got one of the lowest points, and then
I
overall
see.
he has the
Oh.
lowest
round, I
points.
see. Okay.
Ah.
All
All
right.
part of my cunning plan to
Excellent.
displace Glenn.
Excellent tactical positioning, Moises. I'm sure that is what is at play here, and surely
Indeed.
that
Indeed.
my game is sophisticated enough to allow for that kind of maneuvering.
I am playing
Um,
Galaxy Mind Meld.
Yes, you are playing 3D chess while everybody else is playing.
Pong.
Something
I'm
way
playing
more
Pong.
Pong.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
that's
3D chess, your choices
Excuse me.
are either Star Trek Aliens or Donuts.
Star Trek Aliens or Donuts?
Yep.
I'm going to go Star Trek Aliens.
All right,
Right.
Star Trek Aliens. Again,
Oh,
it
man.
doesn't matter if you're correct. It just matters, are other people wrong in the same way? You've got a minute. The timer is going. You know, Kathy, if these were metric minutes, they would have about 20 seconds to come up with each answer. But because they're just using traditional minutes,
Oh,
it's only
nice.
12 seconds.
nice. And see,
So-
now I've learned some time math too.
You may have unlearned, depending on how closely you were listening to me.
Well,
Summer of time math, after
Yeah.
all.
the fun fact is there's no space in my head for math, so regardless of what comes in or leaves, like it's the same amount of math
Excuse me.
that stays in my
I
head.
think this may be our last regular round. We have done, this is 5 rounds, which is how many rounds I put into the spreadsheet. And we may do a sudden death final round after that.
Sudden death. I mean, round 6 is the crazy round, so that would make
Whoop,
sense.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And I am once again very glad that I am not playing this game.
All right,
think
that's a
a baby
minute.
is
So
called
everyone
Danaway.
needs to hit enter. Dan already submitted his stuff before.
Oh.
he left.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to,
Yeah.
but it's trying to respell my alien names.
Okay.
Rude.
So rude.
So what's interesting here is, let's see. I think it's interesting around what rounds people can were like had the most spread versus least spread. Sorry, I'm just adding some labels to spreadsheets with what you did.
Organizing my grocery list.
All right. So round 5, our possibly final round, was Star Trek Aliens. Dan, let us start off with you because you were the first to submit, and I think we're around you in the rotation. Your goal, I have no doubt that you could name 5 Star Trek Aliens. The question is, can you name 5 Star Trek Aliens that other people will also name?
Well, the move in this case was just to go with certainly the most popular ones I could think of. So I
Yeah.
went with Vulcans, Klingons, Romulans. Wild card here was the Borg, and then the Ferengi. I did think I flirted very briefly with using human, and I wasn't sure if anybody else put it.
We would also cross-check that with Terrence, yes. All right, well, Dan, excellent work. And not just excellent work, Dan, excellent work, all of you, because you very solidly converged here. You're all of one mind regarding Star Trek Aliens. All of you put in Vulcans, Klingons, and Romulans, if I'm reading correctly.
Oh my.
Yes.
Nice color-coded block here in our spreadsheet. Every single one of you put in Vulcans, Klingons, and Romulans, and then put in different things for and literally those were your top 3 choices for all of you. Dan, you were you deviated from the group by not having Klingons as your top choice, but that doesn't matter.
Disappointing,
What can I
but
say?
acceptable.
Yeah, the list is not in rank order. It's just a list. So the scores are going to be very close for this round based on how much you converged on Star Trek Aliens. No points for Borg and Ferengi. Glenn, we know you
I
picked.
almost picked Ferengi, and then I changed it as I was submitting the form.
Moises, tell us what you put on your list that is not Ferengi or
So
Klingons, Vulcans, or Romulans.
in place of Ferengi, I put Gorn.
Oh, there's a race, isn't it?
As they recently figured in Strange New Worlds.
Prominently in Strange New Worlds.
And then I went to Discovery for Kelpian.
All right. I will tell you, you're gonna get a point for Gorn because Shelley also put Gorn.
Yes.
Sadly, no one else put Kelpian. Shelly, we know you put Klingon. We know you put Romulan, Vulcan, and a Gorn. What's your last pick?
My last one, and I confess that I wasn't as modern as Moises in Strange New Worlds. For some reason,
You were thinking classic Gorns.
My brain could only go to the first to original series, and so my last one is Andorian.
All right, nobody else picked
that's good,
Andorian, but you know,
Wow.
Shelly and Moises, you both got the most points this round. Kathy will tell you how many because I can't do that math in my head right now, but you carried the round. Glenn, let's go to you. Klingons, Vulcans, Romulans, and
I thought about Andorians and I just couldn't summon it up. So I did went Deep Space Nine, Next Generation, and went Cardassians and Bajorans.
well, I feel like Glenn, you wrote the list I probably would have wrote, but unfortunately, no one else submitted Cardassians or Bajorans. So
There are
no
Ferengi
points
on
for
Deep
those
Space
that.
Nine, Glenn. They
It's
are
true.
very
Yeah.
prominent.
They're my strong number 6.
Somewhat
I like the part where you tell people that you're wrong because they didn't think the way you did.
Isn't that the whole point of this game, Tony?
Well,
I mean, come
Tony.
on.
Dan
Well, Tony, to
is
be fair, that is why Dan was denied points that he deserved.
Have you considered changing the title from Mind Meld to Groupthink? Because
I didn't think about that. That
Echo
was a
Chamber.
working title.
Hive mind.
Yeah,
Echo
there were a
Chamber.
couple things we may workshop the name. So I think this was a very tightly
Because I don't know, Star Trek may have
round.
something to say about it.
Oh, is that trademarked? I don't know. Kathy, what were the scores like for this round? I know they were close.
Yep, we've got a set of twins once again, but they've swapped a little bit. Shelly and Moises come out of the round with 10 points each, and Glenn and Dan have 9.
All right. So I think we are approaching the final round of Mind Meld, which is going to be a little bit different. What do the final scores look like, Kathy?
Shelly, you know what? The numbers have changed, but the order is still the same.
Still the same.
Shelly at 43, Dan has 40, Moises has 38, and Glenn has 35.
Yeah, Shelly, commanding
Wow.
performance. I think Shelly has won every round. Is maybe there's
Except
one
for
that's-
colleges.
colleges and only 1 point behind.
Well, you know, I
winning.
went to a state school, so
Yeah.
what can I tell you?
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
This is the secret
So-
game is who's the psychic, and now we've discovered it.
Here is my proposed way of doing a
Psychic
final
comes
round.
second, Glenn, so as
Um,
not to give away their identity.
My proposed way of doing a final round is that this one, instead of you having time to think, this is a speed round.
Oh,
You
boy.
won't do this in writing. You will do this. We'll basically go around, and if you are not able to name a item in the category promptly enough, I'll give you a 3, 2, 1. You will be out. The order will be Dan, Moises, Glenn, Shelly, and then back around. Dan, Moises, Glenn, Shelly, until people are out. I haven't figured out the exact scoring, but whoever is left standing will get the most points. Whoever is out first will get 0, and so on.
I assume, as a point of order, that if you say something already said, you're also
Yeah. Otherwise, the game
Oh,
goes
yeah.
forever, Dan.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
No points for
Kelpian, Kelpian,
Yeah,
Kelpian,
it'll be-
Kelpian,
the
Kelpian,
game.
Kelpian,
Damn it.
Kelpian,
Think to
Kelpian.
specify this.
No,
The
Kathy.
answer
no,
must
that's
be
good.
valid.
Kelpian.
All Kathy judgments are final, and and Kathy, you're going to be our time enforcer and validity judger.
Okay.
I think I just thought of the loophole to this, but we'll see if it works.
We'll see if it works. So no repeats. So I think I am going to arbitrarily pick the category. The category I am going to pick is fruits. So Dan, name a fruit.
Apple.
Moises, name a fruit.
Avocado.
Glenn, name a fruit.
Tomato,
Shelly, name a fruit.
Banana.
Dan, name a fruit.
Raspberries.
Moises,
Blueberry.
Glenn,
starfruit,
Shelly,
Cherry.
Dan.
Strawberry.
Has strawberry already been said?
No.
Raspberry, blueberry.
Moises,
Blackberry.
Glenn,
durian,
Shelly,
Boysenberry.
Dan,
Dragon fruit.
Moises,
Kiwi.
Glenn,
loganberry,
Shelly.
Uh,
3, 2, 1. You're out. Dan,
Sorry.
Lingonberry.
Lingonberry, I think was already said.
No,
I said
Loganberry.
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 I'm
I'm
Moises.
writing it down in
Kathy
Good.
is better at this. I'm just trying to keep track with my head while also saying your names in the correct order. Moises.
Cherry.
Sherry not already said?
I
Nope.
said that.
Did
I
you?
said cherry.
I heard it.
I heard Sherry.
Okay.
You're
That
Glenn.
Wow.
that was the blank that I didn't fill out.
I
Glenn.
didn't hear it.
Marionberry.
Dan.
Not a
Wait.
Not a fruit. That's not a kind of fruit.
Marionberry is a
berry.
fruit. Marionberry is a fruit.
Yes.
Not the mayor? Okay.
No, it's a
Okay.
Northwest fruit, I guess.
Yes.
No, not
it's-
Marionberry. Come on.
I have good. It has a Wikipedia entry. Dan.
It is
Yes.
Yeah.
Acai.
Glenn.
Kiwi.
already said.
Already
Oh,
said.
lost
Dan
track.
is the winner.
Oh, yeah.
So our scores for the final round are going to be a totally determined number that I'm not scrolling through my Google Doc trying to figure out. It's going to be 0 points to Shelley, which could change the game. Kathy, those are
No,
numbers?
this was just the order. This was just
okay.
the order.
Got it.
Ignore the yeah.
Let's see here. I was thinking that it would be 5 points to the last person standing,
Okay.
which would be Dan. So try giving Dan 5 points.
Yeah, try that.
Try it.
Try
You
that.
try it.
And
I
I
dare
hadn't
you.
really figured out that except that the next numbers would be between
Second
5
person gets 40 points.
I don't know.
3
3 and 2.
or
Oh, I
1
see.
if we're going all the way down to 0.
Sure, 3 and 1.
Okay,
All
never
right.
mind.
So you want me to simulate the way out that I thought of, which we
Yeah, tell me
almost
about the
turned
way out.
into?
Tell me how you break my game on day one.
So the rest of the game, it didn't matter if we were right about the state capitals or
Oh.
Star Trek aliens or whatever. So Dan, just bounce back and forth with me. Name a fruit.
Apple.
Grand piano.
We would have said you.
Oh,
were
I
out.
would have
Yeah.
called that out, Moises.
Challenge.
So
We
now
almost,
I
last
said,
round
we almost said
accuracy
Glenn
counts.
down for Marion
Oh,
Barry.
that would be fun with
Marionberry.
state
Whoa,
capitals, right?
Listen,
Like,
Yeah.
but
Marionberries
see,
are
state
delicious.
capital wrong, you'd be
Glenn
out.
and I know that Marionberries are real and they make the best jam, and I would fight anyone
It
that
was
thinks that they're
developed.
not.
Well,
It was
I'm just saying,
developed at the Oregon
it
State
was-
University.
I
Thank
was
you.
gonna throw a Chuck Berry, and then we were gonna
No.
have to talk about this.
Yeah,
No,
we're
no,
gonna
no,
argue
it
about
was-
that.
The point
it was
is, if you have
developed
a
as a-
category like state capitals, if you're wrong, you're out. If I say
It is
Portland,
a
I'm out.
Yeah.
super Northwest thing, the Marionberry.
Mhm.
Developed here.
I will
Well,
say
that- yeah.
I was looking at the list of things to possibly use for the final round, and I was like, I should not use something that has. I mean, there is a finite set of fruits, but there are some things on the list that have a much smaller finite set, and I was like, that's not good. But
No.
also, it seemed like
Name
things.
berry-
That, well,
name
like, for
berries.
example, I think you could have argued about what is or isn't a tech company, etc. So
Star Trek aliens. I think there is a long list, but it gets increasingly stupid.
Yeah.
You had said name berries. Shelley was going to have like PTSD, and Shelley too from the sorry, Kathy.
Speaking of
Shelley and
increasingly
Kathy
Hi.
also.
Hi, I know
but-
that there's not a lot of women on this Zoom,
Shelley
but
and Shelley
really,
Do not
Both
diminish
have-
Kathy's power. She's our scorekeeper.
But the
Respect her,
the
please.
berry component of Eat or Be Eaten was terrifying.
yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was like, "Oh God, please don't let that come back to haunt me."
Speaking of increasingly stupid, I think
an
our
ox.
time is at an end. But we have had an exciting shakeup in the scores. Kathy, what's happened?
Well, you know what? To bring this out, I think we'll start at the bottom, where we know Glenn is hanging out at the bottom with 30.
Glenn is here, two-time Jeopardy champion, other-time game show participant, Glenn Fleischman.
Other times, many times.
1 point ahead of him is Moises with 39, and then first place is not Shelley with 43 points, but Dan, who has 45.
Oh my
defeated.
goodness.
I'm
He has brought a
crushed.
child into the world, and he has named many fruits. What can't he do?
I am but a humble supplicant in Dan's
it-
presence.
I am
He
as
is a
shocked as
father and
anybody.
a namer
Yeah.
of fruits.
Chili, I tip my hat to you. It was a well thought battle.
Indeed.
Because
All
I couldn't
right.
think of another berry.
Thank you for playing this inaugural test version of Mind Meld. Thank you for listening or watching the YouTube listeners / watchers. If you're an Incomparable member and you have thoughts about this test, please leave some comments for me in the Slack. This will be hopefully revised and polished and streamlined and perfected into a game show podcast somewhere near you sometime very soon. Goodbye.